Bakers, my name is Joseph. I'm the Soigné Baker. Welcome to my channel. First thing I want to say, on this channel here, I've decided to explore some things about baking that I've never explored before. So a lot of these recipes will be things I'm trying for the very first time. I know it's a little crazy to be trying it for the first time on camera, but hey, we'll see how it goes. Today we're starting with a simple one though. It's just a banana layer cake. I've got all my ingredients laid out here. Now, one thing I will tell you first of all, instead of measuring my ingredients, I prefer to weigh them. That gives you a more accurate, measurement of how you want your ingredients to come out. So for instance, too much flour, you'd be surprised the difference that it can make in a recipe or not. So I've found this recipe online, but I'm going to make some tweaks and changes to it because basically just looking at the recipe, it did not seem like to me it was going to come out flavorful enough. So I'm going to start out with 300 grams of sugar. We're going to cream that along with a stick and a half of butter. We're going to let that calm. We're going to do that on about medium speed. And what we want to do here is bring a lot of air into this. So we're going to let it go for a minute. Take long at all. Once you get done with it, you want it to resemble something like this. It's light, fluffy, full of air. It only takes about 2 to 3 minutes to accomplish. And after we've done that, we're going to keep mixing. We're going to add in 3 eggs, one at a time. Large or extra large eggs if you can. Now it's got a beautiful light texture to it. Next thing we're going to add in is some yogurt. Now, this recipe calls for plain yogurt, but we don't do anything plain around here. So I got some strawberry banana yogurt. And it's appropriate because we're making a banana cake, so why not have a little flavor? We're also adding in fresh bananas, mashed up. 2 fresh bananas. Now, these bananas, I've added some brown sugar, cinnamon, and cardamom, just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. We're going to mash those up, and we're going to drop them on in there. Really and truly, if you got a good enough mixer, you ain't got to mash it up too much. Just get it enough to this where it's broken down. That smells good already. My goodness, we didn't even put it in nothing yet. And I forgot to mention, you want to preheat your oven before you get all this started to about I like to go about 340. 350 can get it done, but I don't like it that brown. I don't like my cake that brown. So I just get it up to about 340, 335. And it's preheating while we're doing all this. I'm going to drop these bananas in there. And let this mixer do its thing for about 2 to 3 minutes. And these need to be mashed up a little bit more here. We'll come back and check on that in just a few. So right now it's got a gritty, grainy texture, kind of resembling grits a little bit actually. But we're not done with it yet. We're not done with it yet. So now we're going to add, let's say, half a teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla is just about an absolute must in baking. But I'm also adding a little bit of this banana extract, which, well, it's appropriate for a banana cake. So we're going to go with that. And I know I said half a teaspoon of vanilla, but you can't have too much vanilla. We'll put another half a teaspoon in there. Let that go for a minute. All right. Now in a separate bowl, I'll combine my dry ingredients. This is about 320 grams of flour. You can use all-purpose flour, or you can use cake flour. I wouldn't use bread flour. I'm sure you know that. We're going to use, let's see, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I use, as you can see, I usually use fine salt, sea salt, but that was all they had when I went shopping just now, so that's what we're rolling with. And half a teaspoon of baking soda. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So that's must have 1, 1.5, and 2. Just gonna give those a quick whisk. Just to get everything stirred together. And I'm not gonna do much more mixing here. So let me take my attachment off here. Let's probably lower this. There we go. There we go. So I want y'all to see how this looks here. You see that grittiness? Yeah, that's how it should look there. And most of that comes from your banana being ground up. We're just gonna fold this wet ingredients, these dry ingredients that is, into the wet. We're just gonna incorporate it nice and evenly. One thing I know, if you're making a batter, you don't smell all that delicious goodness, well, guess what? Smell and taste are closely linked. So you can link the rest of the dots there for yourself. But you want this batter to come together, and man, you can smell all of that good vanilla and banana extract working together, and it is just amazing. It is wonderful. It smells delicious, y'all. I can tell you that. I wish you could smell it. I like to do this part by hand. Some prefer to, let the mixer do its job, but I prefer to do it by hand. There's no law. It's saying what you should do and what you should not do. Next step is to get this in the oven. Now, I've already prepared my pan with my favorite, Baker's Joy. Now, a lot of people use the method, and this is a real kind of an old school method, which there's nothing wrong with it. It's actually awesome. Butter and flour. But the reason I prefer this is because this has the lubricant with flour included in it. So I've never had any problems. I've used this in bundt pans, sheet pans, all kinds of pans, and the cake comes out perfectly every single time. So we're gonna just pour this batter up and get her in the oven. All right. And we'll be back when it's ready. Okay, bakers, we are back. As you can see, these lovelies, nice and beautiful. They're not exactly even, but we can fix that. No worries about that. But now it's time to make cream cheese frosting. Cream cheese frosting is very simple. Block of cream cheese, block of butter, a little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla extract, 500 grams of powdered sugar. Now, you're going to add that powdered sugar in later, and you're going to add it in gradually till it gets to the consistency that you want. But the first thing you want to do, you want to beat these two together until they're nice and soft. You're going to blend those in. Also, a little secret ingredient, a little rum ain't never hurt nobody. So we're going to add a little splash of that in there too. See how it goes. All right, so let's get started. So this is the finished product here. I wanted to skip ahead and because I had a few technical difficulties. But after I put that wonderful cream cheese frosting on it, I decided to design it with a little splatter design. I just took my palette knife across the top and ran it back and forth to give it that nice back and forth design. And the splatter design I made with some yellow food coloring and some peach schnapps. Now, you can make it with just about any clear alcohol, but that's the alcohol that I had on hand, so that's what I used. And it comes together really quickly, really easily. You just put the yellow food coloring into a bowl and a few drops of alcohol. And you stir it up and then you just splatter it on with a brush. And it's going to make a lot of mess. As you can see, I had that parchment paper on the bottom to kind of protect my work area. But it's going to make a big mess, so you want to account for that. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please subscribe and share. Enjoy. Keep baking.